Hey, welcome back. Let's talk about Deep Water, Renny Harlin's new shark thriller. The one where an airplane crash and a shark attack decided to just merge into a single movie. No major spoilers here, just the breakdown, what works, what doesn't, and whether you should bother. Premise first. A flight from LA to Shanghai is carrying the usual disaster movie lineup. A few families, a couple of rival esports players, a grandmother who clearly doesn't know she's in a horror movie, and a kid who hates her new stepbrother. Somewhere in the cargo hold, a passenger's power bank is packed raw, catches fire, and turns into an explosion that rips the plane open mid-flight. The pilots somehow land the wreck in open ocean. Then the plane clips a coral reef and breaks into 3 chunks. So now everyone's floating, bleeding, and surrounded by mako sharks that smelled blood before the plane even finished sinking. Efficient predators. Rough commute. Eckhart is Ben, the first officer running from a messy home life. Across from him, Kingsley plays Rich, the captain, a guy a few karaoke nights away from retirement who genuinely believes his cover of Fly Me to the Moon is landing him a date. Spoiler, Kingsley's out of the plot early, so Eckhart carries most of the runtime, and he sells haunted but competent well enough that you forgive the thin dialogue. Then there's Angus Sampson as Dan, the man whose poorly packed luggage starts this entire catastrophe, played with exactly the energy of someone you'd personally hand over to a shark. Rounded out with Molly Bell Wright as Cora, the stepsister with opinions, and Lucy Barrett, filling in a group that swings from likable to walking plot device. Quick context on the director. This is Renny Harlin's first trip back into shark-infested water since Deep Blue Sea in '99. After a stretch directing the Strangers reboot trilogy, movies critics treated about as kindly as these sharks treat the passengers. So there was real pressure on this one to prove he still got it. Also worth knowing, one of the producers is Gene Simmons from Kiss, a man who apparently looked at his bank account and thought, you know what this needs? More blood in the water. The crash itself is the best part of the movie, no contest. It's loud, it's well staged, the sound design makes the cabin groan like it's actively dying, and there's a real sense of falling that most disaster films fumble. Once everyone hits the ocean, the wide shots are surprisingly pretty in that way that reminds you humans are basically snacks, floating in a very big bowl. The shark attacks vary. Some land hard, some feel recycled from every other shark movie made since Jaws kicked off this whole subgenre. The score is competent without overstaying its welcome. My verdict, this is a fun, unembarrassed B movie that mostly floats instead of sinking. That opening crash alone earns its ticket price, and the cast sells the panic even when the script gives them nothing. The middle stretch drags. Some character arcs you can call from a mile away. A couple of plot conveniences show up exactly when the story needs them to, because of course they do, and not every shark encounter hits with the same force. Familiar waters, pun fully intended, but Harlin keeps the pace tight enough that you genuinely wonder who survives. Reception-wise, critics landed warmer than expected. Rotten Tomatoes settled around 70% from over 60 reviews, most calling it a solid, unpretentious popcorn thriller. Metacritic, the pickier crowd, put it in the low 50s out of 100. Opening weekend audiences gave it a B on CinemaScore, and IMDb has it sitting around 5.9, which tracks people either had a blast with the schlock or got bored once the sharks started repeating their tricks. If there's a takeaway here, it's this. Pack your power bank properly and maybe don't fly directly over the part of the ocean where the food chain is still very much in session. The movie knows exactly what it is and mostly doesn't wink at the camera about it, which earns it some respect. Not Sharknado level absurd, but there are enough did that just happen deaths to keep things entertaining. Bottom line, competent escapist trash, and I mean that as a compliment. It won't haunt you, but it'll give you an hour and 46 minutes of tension and bad decisions. I'm giving it a near 6 out of 10. Genre fans, seek it out. Everyone else, it's already up for rental or purchased digitally, so save the ticket money and watch it at home some night you want something dumb and fun. That's the review. If you've seen Deep Water, tell me in the comments whether the sharks delivered, and maybe reconsider that window seat next time you're flying over open water. See you in the next one.